Running your air conditioner all summer can add between $300 and $800 to your electric bill. And most people don't realize how much it's costing them until they open that first bill in July and nearly fall over. I'm going to break down exactly what you're paying to stay cool, why your AC costs so much more than you think it should, and what's really driving those summer electricity spikes that turn a manageable bill into a financial gut punch. Let's start with the basic math. The average central air conditioning system uses about 3,000 watts of power when it's running. That's 3 kilowatt hours for every hour it operates. Now, if you're paying the national average of around 16 cents per kilowatt hour, that means every hour your AC runs costs you about 48 cents. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Here's the problem. Your AC doesn't run for just 1 hour a day. During a hot summer month, depending on where you live and how you set your thermostat, your AC might run anywhere from 8 to 16 hours per day. Let's use 12 hours as a middle estimate. 12 hours at 48 cents per hour is $5.76 per day. Multiply that by 30 days, and you're looking at $173 just for air conditioning in a single month. And that's assuming you're paying average rates and running a reasonably efficient system. If you live in the South or Southwest, where summer temperatures stay in the 90s or higher for weeks at a time, your AC is probably running closer to 16 or 18 hours a day. Now you're looking at $250 to $300 per month. Add in the fact that many states have tiered pricing, where your rate per kilowatt hour goes up the more electricity you use, and suddenly that June, July, and August stretch can cost you $600 to $900 total. But here's what really catches people off guard. It's not just the AC itself. It's everything that happens because the AC is running. When your air conditioner is pumping cold air into your home, it's also pulling massive amounts of power through your electrical system. If you have an older home with an undersized electrical panel, or if you're running other appliances at the same time, your system is working even harder. Plus, if your home isn't well insulated, or if you have air leaks around windows and doors, your AC has to run longer to maintain the temperature you set. Every degree of cold air that escapes is money walking right out of your house. Let's talk about thermostat settings, because this is where a lot of people make expensive mistakes without realizing it. Setting your thermostat to 68 degrees might feel great when you walk in from the heat, but every degree below 72 increases your cooling costs by about 3 to 5%. So if you're keeping your house at 68 instead of 75, you're potentially using 20 to 30% more electricity than you need to. Over a summer, that could mean an extra $200 or more. And here's something most people don't think about. Your AC doesn't cool your house gradually. It runs at full power until the temperature hits your set point. Then it shuts off. Then the house warms up, and it kicks back on at full power again. This constant cycling is hard on the system and uses a lot of electricity. If you set your thermostat at a more moderate temperature, the AC runs less frequently and more efficiently overall. Now, let's add another layer that makes summer cooling even more expensive. Time of use pricing. More and more utility companies are implementing rate structures where electricity costs significantly more during peak hours, usually from around 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's exactly when your AC is working hardest, because that's when outdoor temperatures are highest and your home is heating up the most. So not only are you using more electricity during the summer, you're using it during the most expensive time of day. This can push your effective rate from 16 cents per kilowatt hour up to 25 or even 30 cents during those peak hours. If half of your AC runtime happens during peak pricing, you could be paying 40 to 50% more than you think based on your average rate. Here's another cost factor that doesn't show up in the simple calculations. Air conditioning systems lose efficiency over time. If your AC unit is more than 10 years old, it's probably using 20 to 30% more electricity than a new, high-efficiency model would use to do the same job. That means if your cooling should cost $200 a month with a new system, you might actually be paying $260 or more with your aging unit. And if your system hasn't been maintained properly, if the filters are dirty, if the coils are clogged, if the refrigerant is low, that efficiency drops even further. You're paying for your AC to work harder and deliver less cooling. Let's put all of this together with a realistic example. You live in a moderately hot climate. Your AC is 12 years old. You keep your house at 70 degrees. You have some insulation issues. Your utility has time of use pricing. You run the AC from May through September. Your actual cooling costs for those 5 months could easily hit $1,500 to $2,000. That's 40% or more of your total annual electricity expenses, all packed into a few months. And the worst part? Most of that cost is invisible until the bill arrives. You don't see a meter running. You don't get daily updates. You just set the thermostat and forget about it until you're hit with a bill that's double or triple what you paid in April. So what can you actually do about this? Understanding what drives the cost is the first step. If you know that every degree matters, that peak hours multiply your costs, that an aging system is bleeding money, you can start making different decisions. But here's the reality. Even if you optimize everything, even if you set your thermostat at 78, run your AC only during off-peak hours, and maintain your system perfectly, you're still going to pay hundreds of dollars every summer to stay cool. Because air conditioning is fundamentally expensive. It takes enormous amounts of energy to remove heat from your home and pump it outside. There's no way around that basic physics. The question isn't whether AC costs money. It's whether you have any alternatives beyond just accepting whatever your utility company charges and trying to use less. I've included some data in the description about typical AC costs by region and system size, along with information about what actually drives cooling expenses beyond just runtime hours. If you want to see more breakdowns of where your electricity dollars are really going and what options exist beyond just trying to use less power, subscribe for practical analysis that goes past the surface level tips. Your AC is expensive because moving heat takes energy. The only question is whether you're stuck paying whatever it costs or if there's another approach.